Hello everyone, my name is Saxon Novak. I am a product specialist here at Control Solutions. Today we're going to go over the simple process of what to do when you receive a device back from our calibration service. So I have a device here that I had calibrated, and I just would like to go over with everyone the process to get this device reinstalled on your fridge or your freezer. And I will go over the contents and how we received them. Please note that whatever you send us will be included back in each one of these bags. Each device will come packaged by itself with its included accessories and a new calibration certificate. We also have included on the front a sticker that lets you know this device does need to be configured for use, as they just went through our testing process and we need to validate our settings before putting them back into vaccine monitoring. I'm going to simply open up the adhesive package, and we have our freshly recalibrated data logger here, and we have our probe that belongs to our recalibrated data logger, as well as some additional and replacement zip ties to replace the ones you had to remove when you sent the assembly into us for service. With every data logger, you will receive your calibration certificate. Each one of your devices here, the log tag specifically, is good for 2 years. Each device will include a calibration certificate. So now that we have our calibrated equipment back, we will be able to take it back to our computer, get it into the docking station, and then get the logger configured for use. The first prerequisite that we're going to need is our Control Solution software installed. The software can be found on our website. You can also find our website printed on the faceplate of all of our data loggers. The address is vfcdataloggers.com. On that webpage, we have a software download link. You'll select your device and it will give you the installer for the software that you need. Just keep in mind, you may need your IT department's administrator credentials or have them visit your PC to install the software for you if you do not have the appropriate rights to do so. With that being said, we're going to move into the configuration of the VFC 400 SP by opening up our Control Solutions VTMC software. Now that I have located my data logger and removed it from its packaging, I'm going to install it into the docking station. The following log tag has no readings. This is a message we want to see. This lets us know our log tag is brand new and has never been used. So before you start your logger configuration, you're going to want to have it planned out whether you want to use Fahrenheit or Celsius for your temperature logging. If you do want to use Fahrenheit, because all of our equipment is pre-configured in Celsius, you want to open your software, click on Edit, select Options. Then at the very top, it'll say Show Temperatures in Celsius. This will allow us to change our software over to Fahrenheit if we wish to use Fahrenheit. For today's demonstration, we're going to be staying in Celsius. Now that I've decided to use Celsius and I've validated my software is indeed reading in Celsius, I'm going to click on Log Tag. We're going to select Configure. I now have the configuration window open with all of my logger settings. All of the loggers that ship out of Control Solutions in regards to the VFC 400 and 400 SP model numbers all ship out as a Celsius configured refrigerator thermometer. So I'm just going to type in fridge at the top under user information description. And since we do pre-configure all the devices for perfect safe fridge values, we can just go down and validate our settings because every logger that's deployed to a refrigerator or freezer, the settings should be validated. I'm just going to make sure I have my reading set to every 6 minutes. It's telling me that if I read every 6 minutes, using all the available memory to the logger, I have logs internally stored on the memory of the logger for up to 65 days. That just means you must download your logger before the 65th day of logging, otherwise it will stop. Moving down below to our alarm settings tab, you can see in the top left we have the audible alarm that is enabled because we want to hear the logger beep if there's a temperature excursion. we have it set to Celsius. This is where you would change the logger itself. Earlier we changed the software to Fahrenheit, but here is where you would change the logger itself. While you must change every logger from Celsius to Fahrenheit, the software only needs to be changed once, not per logger. So continuing my configuration for a fridge in Celsius, I'm going to validate that my display is in Celsius, my audible alarm is still checked, my alarm is enabled, trigger alarm when readings are above / equal to 8 degrees Celsius, trigger alarm when readings are below / equal to 2 degrees Celsius. This is the value set forth by the CDC. These are safe. All users should consult their state vaccine storage and handling toolkit and use those values. However, these are safe values in 99% of the instances where you'll be data logging. If you wanted to do a freezer, you could replace the alarms with -15 for the upper and then -40 for the lower, and in that case you would simply need to rename the fridge to freezer. The only thing that separates a fridge logger from a freezer logger is the name and then the alarm values you program into it. So these would be the freezer settings at the CDC values that would be ideal. You may pause the video on either screen if you need to retain the settings for longer. I'm going to go back to fridge settings, however, because I would like to use this logger for a fridge. So I'm going to rename it in user information description at the top and move on down to my alarms because everything else is perfect. So I'm going to put in my upper alarm of 8, my lower alarm for 2 Celsius. Moving on to advanced features, I would pause the video here or take a screenshot if you would like. These are going to be the ideal settings for any data logger out in the field, be it a VFC 400 or 400 SP. These are going to be exactly what you want. Lastly, we're going to go over to advanced features. We're going to make sure that the inspection alarm is unchecked. And under display settings, we want to show additional display text. And we want to show total summary days collected. That will display the duration that your logger's been recording. That way, if you're supposed to record and then download every 2 weeks, if you have 18 days, you know the logger's been recording past your designated download duration. With all those settings enabled here, we have our fridge logger ready. We'll simply click configure at the bottom, and the software is going to apply that configuration. Once we have the 3 green checks in the top left, and then our configuration bar is full with the text configured in the center, we can close the software out and finish installing our data logger.